Welcome everyone to another episode of the Warmup. I'm here with these knucklehead guys, man. It's me, Chris Palinka in the building. We got Deuce with his, diss track in the back, and we got Kev RL, and we have Reg. Say what's up to our audience and our fans and the newcomers.
Hey, what's
What
up,
it do?
everybody?
What it do?
Just want to say we appreciate y'all. Even when the car stopped, y'all just keep spinning, man.
Memphis Hubcaps, baby.
Wow. So I'm going to ignore that nonsensical stuff and greet everyone. If this is your first time listening to us, man, rock with us. This is a place where we talk about sports, current events, and everything else in between through the lens of black culture. We're here every Tuesday. Check us out on the YouTubes or check us out on the audio platform of your choice, Spotify, or what's the other one? Anchor, or Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. I'm sure we're somewhere on Deezer somewhere. But anyways, wherever your favorite podcast is where we at, and that's where we're gonna be at. So listen to us in your car or check us out on the vid. You can see some of the visual representation I'm talking about when I say diss track in the background. But yeah, check us out also on social media. We're here on Discord, where we're trying to get the community popping. We're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, and we're on Reddit. So yeah, follow us on those individual platforms. The links to all that is in the description box, and it's on our YouTube page as well. So like I said, just do a little bit of digging, or you should go hit the description. You'll see us, follow us, and see some of the antics that goes on behind closed doors.
Say another comment about that dish rag, bro. You're gonna get cut like Kellerman.
Oh, wow. That's what he said.
Okay. Wow, okay. All right. Well, I don't know.
Place around
You gonna hit me with a knife, the West Side Story knife? You gonna just pull it out?
Hey, whatever
dancing.
Stephen A. used, to cut him out of there, man.
Oh, okay. I should call it dish towel. Is that better? Did I say dish towel or dish rag?
You said rag, man.
Oh, okay. Dish towel, hand towel,
Edit all
towel.
that nonsense out.
So it's cool,
Hey,
man.
man.
Shout out to Atlanta.
Blatant disrespect, man. Okay.
So
I'm in the A.
So let's get right into it, man. Oh, anything y'all want to add before I jump in?
I don't know. Let's get into it.
Cool,
Good.
cool. Awesome. All right, well, let's jump right into it, man. We're going to talk about this GM survey because the NBA is upon us, and we got a lot of topics of opinions that they put out, and we're going to have opinions on their opinions and then make opinions out of it. So we going to just jump into it, man. We have a list of things. We're going to discuss some of their results, then kind of talk about what we thought about their results, and if we have any different results, talk about why ours is more important than theirs. So yeah, let's
Standard.
yeah, all right. So yeah, let's get right into it, man. First things first, for the topic that we want to bring up as far as the GM survey is, they asked which team will win the NBA Finals, and with an astounding 72%, the Brooklyn Nets were the most popular vote of the team that is going to win the championship for the 21-22 season. And I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm going to let Deuce tell us if they're wrong or if they're right. And if they're wrong, tell us why and who they should have picked.
They're on the money, man. We go back to last year. Who won the championship last year?
The 3-point line. That stopped KD from being great.
Man, what? I'm telling you, man. KD go down the shoe size or something. KD and the Brooklyn Nets, minus Kyrie, with an extremely humbled Harden, man, nearly took the NBA champions out, man. The champions had a full roster. They were clicking. Full roster. And you just add in a healthy Harden. We don't know what's going to happen with the Kyrie situation. But for now, let's say he's not there. With what they have, KD and a healthy Harden, who's going to stop him? Who's going to stop him? Nobody, man. KD is the illest shooting player in the game, man. Harden get buckets out of anywhere. And people sleep on KD's defense, but you know when he was with Golden State, he took his defense to a whole nother level, man. So he took what he learned from that city by the bay, brought it over to the Nets, man, and they're going all the way. And if you guys say anything different, drug test right now.
All right,
Anybody
Kev.
want to follow that up? Anybody want to follow that up?
I'm gonna agree with the defense tip. But go ahead, Chris. I saw your eyes popping, so I want to hear what you got to say.
This guy here said, okay, you've heard this old adage. I'm sure you've heard it around the way in sports. The best ability is availability. Is that accurate? Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. Kyrie may not be available this whole year.
Fine.
Right? Okay.
He said it's fine. He already accounted for that. That's what surprised me right
That
there.
was in my initial statement. Thank you for highlighting that.
Okay, James Harden and Kevin Durant. Although Kevin Durant played majority of the season, James Harden did not. They're
Before
getting
last
older.
year, when did Harden miss any time, legitimate time?
Sure.
With Houston, he was pretty durable.
And what did they get him? What did they get him?
You moving the goalpost? We talking about durability.
No. I understand that. But my point is that he played all those games, carried that heavy of a load, and he has to carry the aftermath of that load. He came now. Granted, last year he came in overweight. He didn't come in really conditioned to play. He was skipping games and this and that. The hamstring got him. Probably because of that. We don't know. There's no correlation between that. But one can say that part of that could be either age or the fact that he just wasn't conditioned and he was trying to get conditioned during the season. So either way, he added another year to his to his birth certificate. It's a little dustier now, and now you have less flexibility, I would say, because Kyrie's salary is tying up a lot of that money. So you can't even build up around them like that. So at the end of the day, this is a war of attrition. Who can stay the healthiest the longest and progress to the playoffs? And when it comes down to it, we know Kevin Durant has some, he usually has some lower extremity injuries. James Harden, both of them are older, a year older. Kyrie, we don't know if he's coming back. We can't rely on LaMarcus Aldridge. He's coming back after his medical condition. We don't have they don't have the fountain of youth to rely on to push them through the season. And there are younger cats, there are younger teams out there now. We're gonna talk about it, but we know that the Brooklyn Nets are going to be in the playoffs, but it doesn't necessarily guarantee that they're going to be in the NBA Finals or even make it to the championship. Win the championship for that. So yeah, I'm glad that you said that though. It's an easy target on your back. So
hey, we're gonna run this back at the end of the season, man.
Okay.
Run it back at the end of the season.
But haven't we been there before with the whole KD and Harden situation? We have to remember this is where this started. This was KD, Harden, Westbrook.
Yep.
And this is a replay, so it depends on how you want to look at it. You look at it as they added more years, so they now more experience and they can do better. Or you might say what Chris was saying, which is, man, they add more years. Maybe KD could push forward, maybe could be available, but at the same time, that's a big question too. These years, how they would affect their availability. So I think that's a valid question to have. But we've seen this duo before though. So what's new? That's what I want to know from Deuce. Like, what's so new about this time as opposed to last time that you're so confident that these two are going to just dominate the league and come out victorious?
Well, I think some of the points that Flamingo Chris mentioned was that the fact that it's Chris Flamingo? Okay, got it. My bad. Sorry. Excuse me. Pardon. Yeah, I couldn't see bright colors down there on my screen.
Can you turn your shirt down, sir?
I'm gonna do like this.
Contrast. Kev, you got it. This is a good question, man. For everything Chris said, Harden came in, he was out of shape. He brought his way out of Houston. We talked about that. I'm not gonna go back to that conversation. This year we're getting the Harden that's gonna be in shape. And I like the question, that statement about everything, all the lifting he did in Houston, but let's be real. Harden's game is an old man game. Harden kind of reminds me at that 50-year-old in the YMCA that's still bucking folks up against the head playing ball. His game is not athletic. Nobody says Harden has a killer first step. He's really good dribbling the ball, manipulation, misdirection, change of pace. That shot is still wet. I like the Patty Mills pickup too. That can give Harden, he doesn't play off the ball well, but when the minutes he's sitting, Patty can run the offense and help out. KD's game, come on, he's a 7-foot shooting guard, man. Nobody can stop him. And yeah, that's what the opponent's gonna look like when they go up against the Nets, knowing, bruh, let's skip the game, go back to the hotel room, take this L. That's what it's gonna be. What else do you need? This is a healthy 2 and you can run it. Done deal.
I appreciate that response.
That's how Chris. That's how Chris looking right now. That's how people was playing the Warriors is looking like. Damn.
Again.
They really up 30. Yeah, in the first quarter.
And don't forget, Joe Harris, man, he had an off series when they almost beat Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
He had an off series.
Yeah,
He's coming back. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You could count on Joe for those threes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Cool. Kev, you got anything else you want to add to this before we move on?
I don't see the dominance that he's speaking of.
Okay.
At the end of the day, I know Lakers are in the mix. I don't know if he talked about what the GM survey said, but they have it listed what Brooklyn, Lakers, and
Milwaukee.
And they have Brooklyn the overwhelming favorite. I think I think things have changed since they've done this survey. Have things not, or am I confused?
No, things have changed. I agree.
Things have changed. Okay, all right. Things have changed. So I don't know if the confidence is still up there. I think Kyrie was a big part of that 72% overwhelming vote, and him not being there, I'm not saying it completely kills their chances, but like I said, we've seen this duo before. So, yeah, let's see how far it can go, given these guys are available. Definitely the talent is there. KD could do great things, and I expect to see great things from him this year. So they got a good chance, but I don't know if this is a likely or this is just my will and want. But I'm still for the Lakers all day. Seeing that experience, seeing what they've done this offseason, which we'll talk about. And I'm looking forward to see how that gel. I understand it's just a lot of changes, but at the end of the day, that's what I'm rooting for, man. I don't count LeBron out ever. Not since he's been in the league. Even when he was losing, I still wasn't counting him out.
Kev, it's funny you said the Lakers because the same comments that y'all threw upon the Nets can easily be thrown upon the Lakers. Old.
Another year. Yeah.
Old.
LeBron's body, don't know. The last one was a legitimate injury, but it's part of the time catching up to him. And his teammate, the other All-Star, he's playing with Mr. Glass, man. I love AD, but every time he falls, me and the rest of the Lakers, we like,
oh yeah, we do be. Right, I can't take that away. That's what I'm saying. Maybe that's my hopeful spirit right here, man. It just need a fan in me. But man, I'm still rooting for them. I still get them good chances. Good chances.
Man.
Okay.
Your boy Deuce out here channeling his Alabama. He came in with some good counter punches, man. That was some good counter points there.
It was broken. That's what it was. It was broken punch. But go ahead.
He did his research.
I'm gonna say I still agree that I think the Brooklyn Nets are the favorites to win the NBA Finals. I hear everything y'all saying with age. It makes it a little bit even more bitter taste in your mouth because Kyrie was actually pretty healthy last season. And for that a healthy season from Kyrie to go to a waste, it is kind of hurtful. Let's see if he could do it again, but we already go into it like, somebody here said, Kyrie only played like 26 games a season. So, Kyrie's availability is not really like, it hurts. He's definitely a talented player. But, having the addition of somebody like Patty Mills that can come in there and help out, I think they'll be okay whether he could play or not. I think that, what has changed from last year? Growth. Like, we've seen, Harden always had it in him to facilitate. His assist numbers were not bad in the Rockets, but he just took it to another level and facilitated for that team. KD continued to be a leader and knock down tough shots and show that, even in the Team USA, he is one of the best basketball players in the world, if not the best basketball player in the world. You have guys like Joe Harris that can, hopefully get a return to glory. He didn't have the best postseason, but it's a lot on the table for them. I definitely think they still can be the favorites to win the NBA Finals.
Okay, I mean, I hear you. I think what bothers me the most about this is the fact they got them 72% of people said the Brooklyn Nets.
GMs, 72% of GMs.
the
Yeah, not
GM.
just people.
True. Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Look, I mean, look. Last year, the GM survey said the LA Lakers, and it makes sense. You come off of a championship, and Vegas usually puts them as a favorite and all that stuff for the following season. The Bucks just won the championship, and unless you're saying it's a lot of luck and circumstances, which there was some circumstances that kind of fell in their favor.
Every championship is circumstances.
Yeah, and that's in which I say every year it's a war of attrition. It's a little bit of luck, war of attrition, some chemistry. Everything has to fall into place. It has to be like a perfect storm, a perfect mixture of things to happen for you to even get an opportunity to make it to the championship. The Bucks, how old is Giannis? Like 26, 24?
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Like,
Yeah.
why are we not looking at the Bucks as? I'm not even saying that these teams should not be in the list. If anything, I'm saying it should be close. They should be closer to each other, or it should be flipped to where the Bucks are on top, and then the
Why would
Lakers.
you think that?
If I was a GM and seeing how this last season shaped up, everything that kind of could have went well for the Bucks pretty much did.
Thank you.
Everything that could have kind of not go good for the Nets pretty much happened. They pretty much had that Murphy's Law. All three, your big three, injured at one point. You know, getting a late addition that was out of shape mid-season, like picking up doing these off-season trades and having to lose them for this reason for another.
Don't forget
And-
Philly
and-
imploded on itself.
Philadelphia imploding on itself.
That would have made a difference.
And okay, let's
It
take
was
that
a
off the
factor.
table. Don't matter to me.
True.
And it still came down to KD's foot placement on the line. Does that instill confidence in you to be like, whoa, you know what? These guys are gonna be the favorites. Nah.
It's not okay, but
And a
at the
season
end of the day,
before that, they got put out by the Heat.
they did. And you're right, because remember, I was like, oh, okay, I didn't have confidence in the Bucks because of that. I was like, okay, well, you got bounced by the Heat, and you were supposed to be the heavy favorites. So, but what changed in between last year and the previous year, the year that they lost and the year that they won, is that I felt that Giannis finally started to like understand that he needed to play a bigger role in certain things, and then he did have some help. I mean, PJ Tucker was a big help. It was a big help from a defensive standpoint.
And they lost him.
Yeah, and they did lose him. Chris Middleton.
And in that series, it was a question like, should you have been defending KD? So like he stepped up into a bigger role, but there were still questions. On the way.
And you're right. And that's what they said is like, oh, well, he's gonna guard him from that point on. And I agree. Yeah, you should have been done that. But you know what? That's fine. Like, if it takes you a long time to get there, that's fine as long as you get there. In my estimation, I think there's a difference when you're, because like they still have their two main pillars. Actually, they're three main. They still have Drew Holiday. They still have Chris, and they still have Giannis.
Middleton. Yeah.
I think you're underestimating PJ's departure. I hear you guys saying that Giannis should have checked KD sooner. But let's be real. Giannis' game, he's like a physical phenom. And it takes a lot of energy for him to get his drives.
I understand.
KD's slick. That jump shot, I'm waiting for Giannis' jump shot to develop. But PJ took a lot of defensive pressure off of Giannis.
Yep.
Okay.
That's gone, man. Who's going to do that? If you're asking Giannis to check like the KDs or whoever, will he have the energy left? Because we seen him get gas to finish.
Yeah, definitely.
He plays that one.
He plays hard. Yeah, he plays
really
hard.
Yeah.
Everybody get gas at the end of a sprint, you know what I mean? No matter who you are.
Yeah, and Giannis is he's like in shape. I don't think he can get that much more in shape. You know, he's already there. So the styles have to change.
There's a ripple effect. The ripple effect. Once you pull out that is gonna have a ripple effect. We're not sure exactly how it will impact, but it will have an impact. And we wait and see.
Drew could step up maybe. He's a defensive phenom too. We'll see.
He is.
He got a guard to cover, so.
Nah, true. You right. You
I
right.
mean,
And you can go put this extra energy on KD, and he's still gonna make these tough shots. So you're putting out extra energy. You know, maybe you impact him. Maybe he misses 10% more. What are you losing in terms of energy?
I mean,
We'll see.
all right, man. We'll see. We'll see. Last year the Lakers were voted the most popular, and they didn't even make it out the first round.
We know what happened though. We
know
saw
what
what
happened,
happened.
I understand.
Yeah.
I
It
understand.
don't really discuss it.
I understand.
A lot
I'm
happened.
just.
Phoenix wouldn't have been in the championship
And
if AD
to your
was
point, Chris, this goes to the point. If this is what happened to the Lakers for the Bucks to go and win a championship, I don't know. It doesn't instill a lot of confidence in me for me to put you on the top of the list.
I mean,
If that's the question, yeah. If the
Yeah.
question is why the GMs didn't really put him up there, I'm with Reg 200%. That it wasn't really a highly confident run to the championship.
Gotcha.
It made it, but it was
Yeah.
one of those things where like, yeah, they made it.
I mean, I don't even see the Phoenix Suns up here, but that's fine. We'll leave it alone. We're gonna put a pin in this. We're gonna come back to this and probably.
Well, who's missing? Well, we talked about that, right? Who's missing from this list? So you
Yeah,
Phoenix
we
Suns, you think is missing?
Who y'all was glamorizing because they look pretty. I
don't think it's the
personally
Suns.
Jazz.
Yeah,
But
I mean, y'all was healthy, y'all ain't get it done.
the Nuggets.
I don't-
But they got injured. Whatever.
Yeah, I think it would have been the Nuggets for me if Murray was healthy, but
Oh yeah.
Utah, that's tough though. They only put 3. You think Utah can edge out Milwaukee?
Nope.
I mean,
I think they got to figure out what they're doing on defense. Rudy Gobert is a great interior defender, but they had him on skates.
Oh yeah, they did.
in the perimeter, yeah. He's not a perimeter defender.
That's why I said they're gonna have to figure out
it
what they're gonna have to figure that out. That's what I was saying.
Okay. All right, man. Well, let's put in that, man. We're gonna move on to another one of the questions, man. There was 46 questions. We just gonna focus on 4 of them because there's a lot to get into. I know y'all don't want to be here all night, so let's just move on to the next one that piqued our interest. Which team made the best overall moves this offseason? The GM said 47% Miami Heat made the best overall moves this season, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers, the Brooklyn Nets, and the Houston Rockets. And the Wizards. The Wizards made it to some type of ranking, so I guess that's good. So, Reg, what do you think? What do you think of this? Do you think they got it right? They got it wrong? What you think? This is
It's
your
hard
team.
to say if they got it right or wrong, but I definitely, I'm partial to this. I'm gonna say I really enjoyed the moves that the Heat made. Some of them I didn't even realize till tonight looking at them. I was just like, oh, y'all picked up Morris too? Oh man, and I forgot about PJ Tucker. The really exciting one is, Kyle Lowry coming down, bringing his talents to South Beach, and they were able to re-sign Victor Oladipo too. So it's a lot of excitement. I feel like they have a solid core of dependable, durable individuals, and you have a wild card in Oladipo. Like, if he's healthy, that's a great addition to the team. If he's not, we can still move forward without him. It's not as big as we really needed him last season. The ways that things shaped up, like, we really needed him. Now it's just like, okay, great value add if you're there. So I'm really excited for this season. They signed Duncan Robinson to an extension. Great 3-point shooting. I think we lost Dragic. That was a fan favorite, but I'm happy with the moves. I'm happy with the teammates we have now.
Okay. Kev, you got anything different, or how you feeling about this?
I'm here to seem one-sided on this, but I'm rocking with my purple and gold on this one as well. Went with the Lakers.
I really like that. If the Heat. If I had to pick another team out the Heat, I really did like what the Lakers did too.
Yeah, man, those guys was hungry. They were really hungry out there. Carmelo, which is your boy, you've been tooting his horn for the longest now. He been making a comeback, made the comeback.
Top 15 player in the bubble, was it?
Top 15, yeah.
Hey,
Was it not?
Hey man, we went from unemployed Melo to redemption Melo to now he in L.A. He in Laker Gold. I'm talking about
Hollywood
Gold
Melo.
Hollywood
Yeah, man.
Melo. That'd be championship Melo in a little bit.
Let's see. And we all know what Westbrook could do. You know, he's a
We
firecracker.
do know
by the
what
end of the day.
Westbrook can do.
Yes, I understand why you're saying it that way. I understand why you're
Triple
saying it
double,
that way.
triple double. He be a triple double.
triple-
Triple double.
It's a double-edged sword. You know, what I
It
mean?
is.
It's one of those situations. But they also balanced it out with this Wayne Ellington character. Apparently there's some jabs at his shots, but for what I can see statistically, you know, it's a good addition. Surround LeBron with some shooters. Trevor Ariza, who's also a shooter, and Kent Bazemore. I don't know if y'all been watching Bazemore on the Warriors, but this dude got some energy, man. I think he's a good pickup, and he got a good rating, 8+, I believe, for the pickup. And Kendrick Nunn,
Oh yeah.
solid pickup. Like if nobody else, if you want to even take Westbrook out, man, if they only had Kendrick Nunn, Carmelo, and Bazemore, I would still be leaning towards them being very, very up there with Miami and the moves made. Miami certainly is up there as well. So I say that they're tied for great moves in the offseason. Those teams I'm looking out, East and West.
He still got LeBron and AD. So
Not to mention.
you know.
Small
Not to
caveat.
mention-
Small
Can,
caveat.
can the people can the reluctant fans out there still say that LeBron doesn't have a super team? That's the question. Can we
Is this
now
a super-
say
is this a super
finally
team?
we're confident? Okay, I
Is
guess
this a
it's
super
still
team?
the question.
Is this
Still
a
the
super
question.
team? I'm just asking. Is it quick yes or
It's a
no?
You
Super
asking,
rich.
so it's still a question. That's
It's
all.
super
That's all I
rich.
wanted to know.
Dudes, can
That's
you
all
tell
I'm
me
rich,
this is a super team?
Reg, it's super rich, man. It's super rich.
Hey,
Ish.
if Chris is still asking the question, that means it's still a question. We
It's
haven't
still a
gotten to the
question,
point
yeah.
where it's
I didn't know. I didn't know LeBron was on a super team right now.
I'm
Yeah, I don't-
asking.
He's
I don't
asking.
think he's on. I don't think he's on super team right now either.
Okay. I didn't
So-
know it was a question to
So
be
hold on.
asked.
So we thought. Just think about what we just talked about. We were in our hearts and said, "Oh my God, Brooklyn Nets have the super rich team of all super teams to ever grace the court." And
Who
we over
said
there
that?
like,
I
I don't know.
Who said
I don't
that?
know about these Lakers
I never
guys.
said that.
Who said that?
The
The
narrative
media.
that were not just the media.
I know.
I'm talking about
I'm trying
people that were, oh my God, why would they do this? Parody, like not pointing out anybody here, but I'm just saying the narrative last season, and not just from the media, the tears that were shed on a potential what if situation with a fresh off an Achilles injury, KD, and the out of shape Harden, like. The tears that were shed last season about how unfair. Oh my God, they got Blake Griffin. Really? Oh,
That was the trick.
like-
That was the trick. That would make no sense.
Hey, he played.
Now-
He was a
now-
contributor.
Now nobody.
He
has
was,
a
but it didn't make no
Blake
sense, though.
Griffin.
It didn't make no sense though.
But
At this
we,
point,
but we out here like, I don't know if that's a super team at LA. It's just weird. It's weird.
at this point, Blake is not necessarily the first person you think of when you think of the next Hall of Famer in the next series. But Carmelo is definitely going to be a Hall of Famer. I don't think we could question that.
His game
So
transition well, yeah.
yeah, so to Reg's point, it's a super rich team, man. Like there's 3 Hall of Famers guaranteed in there for sure. On that team right now, and
Oh,
you know
multiple
AD is
ones.
on his way to.
At least 5.
Yeah,
Okay.
so come on, like it's up for argument.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. I feel you. Deuce, man, you got any? Anyone you want to add?
So
on
I
that?
mean,
wanna keep
I hear what you
going?
guys are saying. The Heat, talking about the Lakers. You guys ever drunk Kool-Aid as a kid?
No.
For
Y'all
sure,
never had
Peter.
that?
I
Never
might
done
drink it
that.
right now.
No.
Alright.
Never
Depends
done
on the
that
color. I
before.
might drink it right now.
Hey, red is the only color, right? So when you're a kid, man, they used to put a whole bunch of sugar in Kool-Aid and sweet tea, making it to the point where it shocks your body when you drink it, right? When it gets to that point, it's almost like a syrup. No one ever says, "Oh, you know what? Add more sugar." Nah, you have to have balance. And I think that's what's wrong with both of the teams that my brothers over here picked, man. Miami was already loaded on defense. They are known as a defensive team. They beat you up. So what they do, lose one of the offensive stars as far as putting up points. and you get more defense. When offense was more the problem. People were talking about where's Tyler Hero because he had a sophomore slump. We don't know the reasons, but he sure wasn't bubble hero. Y'all need that scoring, and the Lakers need outside shooting. I always say LeBron needs more outside shooting. LeBron, 4 shooters, can't stop him. He's gonna roll downhill. If you do manage to stop him, he dishing, right? What they do? Add more non-shooters. Got it, Carmelo. He averaged a clean 15 last season. Okay, but are we really gonna put that much weight on Carmelo? I don't know. He's a good addition, but no one in LA scares me in the 3-point line. Like we said, LA 3-point shooters. If I'm in a game, if I'm on them, I'll stick with them. But if I miss my assignment, I'm not sprinting to go shut them down because I'm like, I'll take those odds. Now, my pick, this is a team that's not going to go to the championship. I'm not saying they're going to the championship, but off-season moves, I like Chicago. I like what they did. Because last season, they were like 11th, man. They can't even make the play-in. And with the moves they got, it's a balanced squad that they have right now. Because I like Lonzo. You're getting Lonzo. He can distribute the ball. He's especially a good weak side defender. On the ball stopping, don't know. We'll see. But good weak side defender. Then you got Rosen. That's another offensive punch, man. So, and they picked up Caruso for defense to help out Lonzo in the backcourt. Yeah, and Zach is a star, man. Bona fide.
Sure.
So I think Chicago, they're getting into the playoffs. I think they'll be better. They might have to go through the play-in to get to the playoffs, but I see them going in the playoffs, and I like their moves. Going from outside the playoffs to in the playoffs. I think they did the best job. That's my best off-season moves.
I like that.
Kyle Lowry don't bring no offense?
I was gonna say something, but I like his take though, so I didn't want to,
Yeah, I like his take, but I'm just like Victor Oladipo don't bring no offense.
I mean, like we talked about Victor, he's a risk, man. Like I hope he gets well, but if he does more than 15 points a game, that's like, that's great. But we'll see what he can do.
Man. He can do that. He can do that, man. He averaging 21.
He can do that, but with his body, let him.
Extending Duncan Robinson not offense?
You had Duncan last season. Same cat.
Okay. I'm just saying, like, there's offense there to work with.
I mean,
Jimmy can't get buckets. Jimmy buckets don't be getting buckets sometimes. Like I know sometimes he likes to fall back and and just being a team player and doing what the team needs instead of taking over. But he gets some buckets.
He get them buckets, man. But sometimes his buckets were a little out of reach last season. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I think what Deuce is saying is last year what they were lacking was the offense.
Offense, I heard it.
Yeah. Let's see.
They didn't get an offensive powerhouse, but I feel like they had the tools there. They had to they could do something offensively.
They can do something.
I like the tools
offensively for sure. And Lowry's a bulldog, so
yeah,
he can run offense. I think they did need that because, especially without
Dragic.
Without him, who's running your offense? Because Jimmy could do it, but you don't want to rely on Jimmy all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So the quick question is: the best overall moves this off season include a bust?
Include a bust.
Who's a
Didn't he say Lonzo Ball was a bust?
Wait, didn't he just say he liked Lonzo?
Exactly.
Whoa.
Didn't he just say?
Whoa.
He's a bust.
That was so smooth.
He can't
that
shoot.
I didn't even catch it. I didn't even pick up on that.
What did I say? I never mentioned Lonzo shooting. I said he's a nice weak side defender. All right, good passer. Those are the things I mentioned. I never said he's a shooter.
But he's a bust.
No, you said some good things, man. You said some good things. You didn't just
you.
extract points here and there. You said some overall good things about Lonzo.
He's a good fit for the team.
To summarize, he's still a bust, but he's a good fit for this team.
Yeah, that's what
Because he was
yeah.
drafted what? He was second overall draft pick.
Yes.
You asking irrelevant questions. I'm asking what is your consensus overall? He's still
So-
a bust, but he's a good fit for this team. In your opinion?
Because it goes into the question, because he's a second overall draft pick, right? You should be able to build a franchise around a number 2 draft pick. He didn't need that. He's a solid contributor to a team.
Okay.
I got you. You're saying he's
That
gonna meet
sound
his
like what I just
expectations.
said.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That sounds like exactly what I just asked you, but
You asked me.
You said it with the words. Is this? I don't think you wanted to admit and put the word bust and good fit in the same sentence. That was the problem.
I just wanted to know because he I was going to see if he's going to mention Lonzo Ball. If he didn't mention Lonzo Ball,
you'd have let
then
it cook.
I would just be like, you know what? Maybe he's a bust, but DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine clean it up, and White Mamba will come through and close it
I
up.
mean, he's on his third team, man. He's on his
A
third
bust don't
team.
mean you washed out though. A bust
Yeah.
just mean you didn't show up to where we thought you would have. You know.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know what bust mean because to me, a bust is not necessarily a person who can't contribute. A bust is someone who doesn't contribute at any level, and is not in the he's. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
I
that's
disagree.
That's different.
I
Yeah,
disagree.
that's-
I disagree.
Oh,
I kind of,
okay.
where them two was going with it. It's like, okay, fine. He didn't meet the expectations that you have of a number 2 overall draft pick, but he
I
can
like
be a
that, you.
solid contribution to this situation. I can accept that.
I can accept that too. I'll let you say that.
So, like for example, I would consider Michael. I would not consider Michael Beasley a bust, but I would consider Darko Milicic a bust.
Ooh.
But you know,
Poor Darko.
that's a side question.
side
I
note,
just
yeah,
kind of
it's a
wanted
side
to.
note. Yeah.
I just wanted to ask the question because I just need some clarification. You know, he was last year he was killing Lonzo with the bus argument. Now he's out here praising him. It's good, man.
Hey
Growth.
man, you could be
It's
both.
growth.
He's a
True.
solid contributor.
It's growth. Like
He's not at the same level he was when we had that conversation.
Okay.
He enhanced his shot. He wasn't shooting threes. Reg, I see you shaking your head. When we had that conversation, because I think it was after the bubble, he was not shooting threes.
After the bubble, yes, this is when his 3-point pursuit. There was
Don't
no
say
conversation was
let's
after the
move
bubble.
past.
Yeah, let's
move
move past it. Don't say
We gonna
Yeah.
rat hole here. We gonna rat hill here, but I specifically brought up that stretch when his 3-point shooter greatly.
I like how he said we're gonna rat hole here, but then
Come on,
on the way out. Hey
I'll
man.
wrap it up.
that's an outro. That's an outro for you.
So
What Deontay couldn't do, I throw in a little jab there.
There you go. There you go. So you show him how it's done.
hey, shout out to Atlanta. I mean Tuscaloosa, man.
Hey, don't disrespect the A, man.
Oh man. So no, man. I look. Best overall moves this offseason. I'm gonna have to go with the LA Lakers. I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because they got Carmelo Anthony. They got Westbrook, who can. These are all people who can generate their own offense. They have their own motivation and drive. Yeah, they're a little bit older, whatever. But you know, you still got LeBron. You still have AD. You don't have to really just put the burden on any one of those players, any one of those 4 players. And I guess to Reg's argument, yeah, if you look at it that way, through that lens only, yeah, it's probably more of a super team than what Brooklyn did last year. But they're also, with the exception of probably Westbrook, they're all on a downward turn. I think AD is kind of at his peak. He's not going to progress any further. He's not on a decline either. But that's just my personal opinion. You know, they still have Wayne Ellington. I know y'all don't know who that is. Kent Bazemore, I know Kev only knows him from the Warriors, but before that he was with the Atlanta Hawks. He was still knocking down shots. KCP still there, right? They still got Trevor Ariza.
Is KCP? I thought they traded
Maybe
him.
I don't.
Yeah.
No one really knows what KCP does. He just kind of shows up.
Oh man, on the Lakers, that man was amazing, bro.
Yeah, I know he was, but we
He
didn't
did
expect
everything
it.
they needed to do every time they needed. And I was just like, where y'all from?
Bubble
Yeah.
KCP was amazing. Yeah.
True.
I mean, he was good outside of it too, but that's beside
Yeah.
the point. So you know, I think the Lakers probably had the best moves, but I do see why people like the Miami Heat because they have a higher ceiling. Because the Lakers are already up there. Like
Yeah.
Miami has a higher
think-
ceiling to progress.
I think regular season is going to be extremely crucial for the Lakers because they have so many pieces. Figuring out what rotations are going to be optimal for them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
I hate they missed out on that Bobby Hill trade, man. Because I heard a lot of talk about that. It was pretty much signed, sealed, delivered. Something happened. Ended up with Russ. And I love Russ is one of my favorite players. But as far as fit, Bobby Hill, he not a sat going down to LA shooting those threes would have been amazing. But
You talking about Buddy Hill?
Buddy Hill, thank you. Yeah,
My Bobby.
Bobby, his brother coming to the league. Buddy would have been awesome there.
Yeah.
So, all right, man. Let's move on to the next topic, man. The team with the most promising young core. They had the Atlanta Hawks blasphemously at number 1, 50%. Houston Rockets at 10%. Boston Celtics at 7%. And it's tied with the Grizzlies and New Orleans Pelicans.
And the Suns.
Kev, they got this right. And the Suns. Kev, they got this right or not?
I mean, you see, the way you just said blasphemously, I'm curious as to why you said that. But I watched Atlanta last year. They finally put some things and had some things clicking to get them pushed forward a little bit. They always had the talent, but now it's like the talent finally pushed forward. And it's a young core. I looked at the teams across the board, many young players throughout, but definitely Atlanta is one of them to look out for. I didn't understand the Houston Rockets necessarily, but I know they're rebuilding and that can't think of the name right now, but a few guys showed up last year when it came to the tail end of the season and just showed that they had a little something to contribute. So I don't know if they got this right. I like Memphis up there. I'm not sure how young they are throughout, but given Ja and what's that dude, Zion, I like those two young guys individually up high in the list. But when they talk about a team wise, it could be Atlanta. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. You got me curious now. Or why you said it's a blasphemy?
I'll get onto it. I'll let everyone else speak on it.
I can jump on it.
I mean, I could jump on it right now. I just did want to take.
You want to go last on this?
Yeah,
one?
I just didn't want to. Yeah, I just didn't want to take all the oxygen out of the room, and then y'all don't have much to say. You know what I mean? So if y'all feel,
I like Boston as a young team, but I guess maybe their argument is that some of these guys that are not as young anymore, that's why they kind of shied away from it. But it's a strong young core, generally speaking. Rockets, I don't know about them too much. I like the Grizzlies young team that y'all got going on. Phoenix Suns, obviously, they were content. They went to the to the championship finals. I like the Hawks. I think, outside of Trae Young, he's a budding star. You got all the praise, but Herder was doing some things during the playoffs. You had Collins is doing a lot. So I think in terms of a young core, I can see why they're high on the list like this.
Okay.
I don't have an issue with the list. I can see why you might feel like some other people maybe the fact that they're 50 or we're looking at the voting. I know y'all can't see the percentages. The gap between them and the rest is a little bit higher. Maybe that's what the blasphemy comment is coming from. But generally speaking, the ranking doesn't bother me.
It is a bit overwhelming.
Yeah.
I think the NBA have some young talent spread about, so I would expect that to be a little bit tighter.
Yeah.
But with the young talent being spread about, usually young talent is not the core of your team. So maybe yeah.
Deuce, you wanna add something on that?
I like Atlanta. Tre's hungry. He loves that villain role. He wears it so well. I think he's like the best star NBA villain since maybe Reggie Miller. We'll see. Big shoes to fill. On Atlanta, Herder, when Trae Young went out, Herder expanded his role. Really saw what that dude could do. So I'm interested to see what he's going to do this season coming up. Collins seems like he's in place, so I like what they're doing there. Phoenix, you guys talked about. I think they're going to have some chemistry issues because Phoenix is going to give Aiden the max contract. And he's like, look, everything I did through the playoffs, I showed my worth. At times, I checked Giannis. I think the whole series, I checked Giannis one-on-one without any help defense, right? And it was a competitive finals. I think that's gonna say something because Aiden is a good portion of that core. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna forward out. And as far as everybody else, the Pelicans, Zion's injured again. And it's funny because it's like nobody knew he was injured until just recently.
Already? What happened?
I don't know, but he's not even running, man. He's not even running.
Wow.
Yeah. But at the media day, they said he's going to be okay.
He's playing through the injury?
No, he can't run.
Okay.
Nah. At media day, it was like the team's okay. They sold the tickets. And then now it's like, oh, hey, by the way, our star can't even run right now. And it's like, whoa, what? So
that's crazy.
they shouldn't even be up here now. Of course, Zion was, I guess, healthy then. I like Atlanta. I don't know how Houston got up there. I think it is disrespectful to Memphis. I think Memphis should be 2 because Boston, 2 players, they have like the best, all right? But Tatum and Brown can't make a whole team. So as far as team-wise, with the core, how you gonna beat Atlanta and the Grizzlies? That's what I got to say about that.
I think they packaged their core, but he's not that young as Smart, Jalen, and what's his face?
Smart. I love his heart, man. But are you gonna say that he's? I feel like I'm about to make y'all Doc Rivers, man. Would you say that Marcus Smart could be the point guard on a championship team?
I think so.
Really, the starting point guard?
I think so. When you're this is how you can't put it that way, because that's like saying, do you think Mario Chalmers could be the starting point guard on a championship team? What else you got on the team?
That was the statement by itself. And Chalmers, you would not say Chalmers is the starting point guard.
But that's still the championship team, and he
those are unique circumstances.
Yeah,
Not unique.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
You had 3 of the top 10 NBA players in the same team.
That is unique, but in general, being not necessarily the guy you think of to be the X factor to get you the championship, that doesn't mean he can't exist on the team. Is what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Fair. I guess I should have said what you picked him to be.
Before last season, we'll take it a step further. Before last season, would you have said Reggie Jackson and Drew Holiday?
Okay, you're right. You're absolutely right. I should have flipped it.
Change your question.
If you were the GM, would you pick Marcus Smart to be?
No.
Okay.
No,
now,
but,
I like
what he's done with that team has made me like kind of, you gotta respect it.
Yeah, no doubt. I would want him on my team.
He's definitely a part of that young core. Yeah, he's definitely a part of that young core.
They were
sometimes,
hurt, and he wasn't there.
And sometimes when those other 2 guys that they look for aren't getting it going because he's not that, I've seen him make plays that he probably had no business making, like whether it's getting a steal here, making an offensive play. He does some silly stuff with the flopping and whatnot. But I gotta respect the hustle. Like
he has mad heart, mad heart and hustle, and skill.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So last year they picked the New Orleans Pelicans as the most promising young core. We see how the GMs get these things wrong each year.
Do you disagree with that pick from last year though?
They have ball.
I do disagree.
Okay.
Because number one, outside of maybe Lonzo Ball and Zion, that team was kind of
Ingram.
Yeah.
But he's not really young though. He's kind of starting. He's
right.
Well, I'm saying It's not that he couldn't play.
Age. I think it's that debate about the age.
Well, we just say young core, right? Young core. I'm thinking.
We are talking about young.
Yeah. So Bi is in there.
Okay.
He's in there though.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I don't know his age, but he's a young.
If we can even put Celtics on the list, Bi gotta be on the list. They're in the same. It's saying that same age.
Hey,
to me. So we're gonna say if they're gonna sit here and say Boston, Bi gotta be.
I don't see how Boston was even on his list as well. That's totally fine.
The dude is 24 years old, man. Like he definitely in there. He's under 25 crew.
Sure.
I hope that's young. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So I thought he was older. He seems like he's been in the NBA for so long, but maybe.
Yeah.
He was on Lakers with he came in the same
Lonzo.
time with Lonzo and those cats on the Lakers.
Same
And Hart. Yeah.
I thought he came in before them. Anyways, that's
If he did, it would have been 1 year.
Maybe
It wouldn't have
1
been
year
more than
before, if anything.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think he's more of a mature player. You don't get caught in a lot of BS.
yeah.
You don't.
So yeah, like the reason I thought it was kind of messed up because like that was the only reason why. Like it's Zion, Lonzo, and I really didn't count Bi, so that's the reason why. So okay, maybe fine, whatever. The Memphis Grizzlies, I know I'm a little bit biased. That's fine. We're gonna just talk about it though. The Memphis Grizzlies have the Rookie of the Year in Ja Morant, and also a person who was also a rookie in Brandon Clark, who was in the runnings for Rookie of the Year or Sixth Man of the Year or something like that. I want to say Rookie of the Year. He had a vote. I'm gonna just say it like that. He had a vote as well. You also have Dylan Brooks, who's been there for less than 4 years. You also have Jaren Jackson Jr., who's been there for about 4 years. And then not to mention, you have DeAnthony Melton. You have Desmond Bane, who was a rookie last year. He's coming off the bench, making big contributions off the bench. Knockdown shooter. Xavier Tillman, who was also a rookie. I think he was this is his second year as well. There's so many young players that we don't even know where they fit at yet. But we know that at the very least, Dylan Brooks is going to be there. Jaren Jackson is going to be there.
So who's your core?
I just said it.
So it seems like most teams have like a 3-people core, right? So who's your top 3 in that team?
That whole thing sounds like a core to me. Like thinking about how they play, I hear it.
I just said it. The only and so
Dylan
Brandon
Brooks?
Clark. So yeah, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson, and Ja Morant. If you want to add in Brandon Clark as well, because like I said,
so Jaren Jackson, how many games has he played though? Like I think they took that into account too.
We taking Zion into account.
Jaren Jackson really just had he had an injury in the bubble, so that's what that prolonged into the next season. That's why he wasn't available for most of the previous season. But I outside of that, he was pretty consistent. Like he was pretty available. He just had a knee injury. They also just drafted Zaire Williams, who's a pretty high prospect. He's a promising prospect coming out of I think it was college coming out of, but yeah, he was a high prospect as well. The oldest person on the team, literally, is Steven Adams. that's how young the team is. Yeah. The next person is probably Kyle Anderson, but like everyone else is younger. So
I think there's a difference between having like a young team and your young core.
Sure.
Yeah.
So let me.
But you named some solid players.
So let me ask you this.
But they are the core, the people he mentioned. Bro.
Yeah.
There's only the whole team can't be a core.
No.
The 3,
you can say 3, but you can extend it to 4.
You can say it to 4. Yeah.
Okay, so I
but still, the three or the 4 are the core of the team. Either way, we're not just saying they have a whole bunch of young players. We're saying their core is the young people. The core is young people.
It sounded like that for a second though, because Chris was going on and how many young people they had. So at one point he started to say like, "Hey, look at this team. They're all young."
They're all young, and then within that though, but you know the mainstays are going to be there. But like I said, we don't know where everyone else is going to fall along the way because, like I said, they're all young. We'll see if they progress with the team or if they get dealt or whatever. But compared to Atlanta, and nothing against Trae Young and John Collins, because Trae Young and John Collins are ballers. Obviously, Trae Young superstar, John Collins is a budding star, and even if you want to throw in Bogdan Bogdanovic, he's a knockdown shooter. Like he can score all day. I don't. But outside of those 3, like
Herder, you can put Herder in there.
There's one more person,
Herder.
Okay,
Herder. Herder was there.
But he okay. So would you consider him part of the core? That's my question.
Yeah, if we're gonna extend out to like a 4,
Okay.
Yeah, he was a crucial piece in the playoffs.
So then compare that, right? So you have John Collins, you have Bogdanovic, Trae Young, and Herder. I would put Memphis Grizzlies four that I just talked about. We just saw how much heart they all had, and not to knock Atlanta Hawks, because I'm not trying to take anything away from them, but you know what I'm saying, it's not even about the heart, just about the heart. It's about the chemistry between those players as well. Like you see them doing post game interviews side by side, Dylan and Ja. Like I was laughing at like the hairstyle and the glasses the dude had.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was like, what is he doing?
That was fun.
And I hear what you're saying, but like, and now granted, the statement is unfair. But who's done more, right?
Yeah.
Ja's been there for 2 years. 2 years in the play-in. Atlanta's making it deep into the playoffs. Granted, you're talking about the East and the West. I got that.
Yeah, apples and oranges.
But still, that's what they're looking at.
No,
it does.
Hold on, real quick. We're gonna take a timeout. I'm gonna say this. I was gonna bring up the same point. You gotta be looking at the results as well.
Mm-hmm.
Year one, y'all go to the bubble. Y'all get knocked out in the play. Fair enough. First time they ever did a play. Year two, y'all went and y'all beat Golden State and then ended up losing again in the play-ins. Atlanta not only got into
the
finals,
we got into the playoffs.
Oh, well, exited first round.
First round.
I thought y'all ended up getting in, and it was
against
pretty
the number
convincing.
1 seed. Yeah, against Utah.
It was, but what was the series though?
It was
it was a gentleman's sweep.
It was gentleman's sweep.
Right?
Yeah, 4-1.
Yeah.
So early exit in the playoff round with only one game won in the playoffs. You could say, okay, it's easier to get into the playoffs in the East, but Atlanta advanced into the playoffs
Deep
against some tough opponents.
Against the team that we just said had some problematic situations with Philadelphia, and also the New York Knicks, who were their first time there in a long time, who was also new to the playoff scenario. Not to take anything away from it, because like I said, it is what it is. But I understand the argument that you're trying to state. I'm also saying that within that, we can say that I would think that the Utah Jazz is a more difficult matchup as an opponent than the New York Knicks. Is that true or false?
I mean, that's true,
But
the record books. I hear what you're saying, but at the end of the day, semifinals, first round.
But that's the reason why. Go ahead. I just finished.
I was gonna say. I think also if you look at the core matchup, I like what you did there. Memphis has a solid core. Look at the stars. That's a tough one. Who would you pick, Tre or Ja? Their styles are so different. They can both affect the game in so many ways. But Tre is really doing things out there. Granted, the GM, I think he was on the hot seat. He had to make a lot of deals last year to make some things happen. But you look at that star power, Tre is making things happen, and Ja, he's trying, but he hasn't broke through yet.
Okay. So
He looks good.
I think also with the Knicks, like Knicks were number 4 seed. Like sure, they're not as strong team as the Jazz, but they were ranked pretty high up there in terms of what their wins and losses were. So you gotta like I hear what you're saying with East and West. You gotta start pulling some of that back when you get into what was 76ers. What seed were they?
Are they 3 or something? I think the Knicks were favored to win too in that series.
The New York Knicks
3.
were already the number 4 seed.
Yeah.
So they were 76ers were number 3. I felt like they would probably be like 2 or 1.
Dude, maybe
Yeah,
two.
definitely.
Brooklyn was number 1. Brooklyn
So were they
was
2?
1.
I thought it was
Milwaukee
where
had
were
to be
the
2.
Bucks? I wouldn't say so. Where were the Bucks? Because I thought the Bucks and
So let's say number 3, but like
those 3.
those now again we talking East and West. Those top 3 for the East is a pretty tough. That's a pretty tough teams right there. No matter what conference you threw them in, Brooklyn Nets, that's a tough team. The Bucks were a tough team. Obviously, they went on to win the championship. And 76ers, sure, they had the implosion or whatever, but they were a great team. Joel Embiid, before he got injured, was in the running for MVP.
I understand that. When I'm saying apples and oranges, I think you guys are misunderstanding what I'm saying from apples and oranges. When I say about apples and oranges, I'm talking about who you have to play throughout the year to get those seedings that you're referring to, right? You have to play your division, each person in your division 4 times, right? So, you know, a Western division versus an Eastern division. I forget. I can't think of. I want to say it's like Orlando. I gotta look at it. I gotta look at it again. It debates right now. But like, if you're playing Charlotte 4 times and you're playing Orlando 4 times, and you're that good of a team, I'm not saying that they're not a good team. If you're better than those teams, that's easily 8-0 right there, right?
Less toll on your body to get the same result.
I'm just saying. I'm saying that the path it takes for them to get there is a little less competitive than the path that the Grizzlies would have to have taken because of the fact they were in the West. And again, not their fault. Not blaming the Hawks. I'm just saying that when the counter argument has always been, well, they got further. Well, okay, that's fine. But if you had a easier path to get there, or if your level of competition is a little bit different, it's like saying me being in a Conference USA, I'm undefeated in football, so I should be as good.
No, it's not the same thing though. This is the same league.
Yeah.
Things are not going to change.
No.
May I say this?
Go ahead.
I'm going to say one thing. What you're saying is valid, definitely, but we're talking about promising core. So when we talk about promising core, and we talk about the Memphis Grizzlies, their path won't change.
You're right.
Their path is their path. So what's their promise with respect to what you expect them to achieve within their current division and their conference won't change. So rather than looking at that as the thing to determine whether or not you have a promising young core, we need to just look at whether or not there's a promising young core, because it's still the NBA altogether. So Atlanta path is Atlanta path, that won't change. And Grizzlies path is Grizzlies path, that won't change. So we can't just say, oh, well, Grizzlies is the better young core because they have the tougher team. Otherwise than that, we're gonna have to start doing weighted championships and weighted.
I agree. No, I agree with you on that. I agree with you on that. And that's the reason why it was like to counteract the point of how far they made it to the playoffs. I'm like, well, that's determined on that path. Like, that doesn't mean that one team is better than another team. It just means that the path was a little bit different. It's all I'm saying.
The promise is different too. And but if you wanted to keep it like inter-conference, a GM could be like, all right, we know what the Lakers went through towards the end of the season, and we knew what the Warriors were up against, losing pretty much the second best player on the team. Y'all are all around in the same area, and you can't blame that on East Coast. So like, y'all still haven't reached the level of success with all, like, those are the biggest breaks you're gonna get in the Western Conference, right? In terms of those teams that will just, you don't even got a shot, and you were still in the same package.
Denver being injured, I think
Murray going
Jaren,
out, not having Klay Thompson, the Lakers losing all, like, COVID protocol coming on, having AD and LeBron injured, and y'all were all in that same bottom of middling to not even make it to the playoffs. So it's when you look at the promise, you got to see that.
And I think honestly, Jaren Jackson Jr. is bringing y'all core down because of his health. We don't know what a fully healthy, experienced Jaren Jackson would look like with Memphis. You know, I think that's also hurting them.
Where we have, like I said, this is the first real season where he was out for a long period of time. Like I said, he hurt himself in the bubble. So, like I said, that happens. That's just part of the game. And again, we can't, all this variability you guys throwing out, oh, people are injured, Klay Thompson was injured. That's no different from the argument of saying, well, they made it to the semifinals and this person made it to the first round exit. So therefore, the person with the semifinals or the conference championship exit is a better, more promising core.
That's why I said that if you want to make that argument, we could just cut off the whole East Coast. Given the circumstances in the West Coast, y'all were still in that same area that y'all seem to struggle in, where it's just like y'all good enough to maybe get into the playoffs, but y'all, it's tough to get out. Because, like you said, you might end up against the number 1 seed or whatever the case is. Even granted, all the detriment of stuff that you saw happening in the West Coast. That's all I'm saying. If you want to say, oh, you can't compare East Coast to West Coast, y'all still struggling in that same pocket.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna leave it at that.
There's no not comparing them. They play for the championship.
I was gonna say
the championship.
So Anyways, I still believe this whole 50% Atlanta Hawks is trash.
Isn't
and
it
Houston
overwhelming?
Rockets.
Yeah,
I don't even know
I
why
agree
Houston
with
Rockets are
that,
even in here, but
I don't know
that's
how
totally
Houston,
fine.
like, we couldn't even pronounce, man, listen.
I couldn't remember the names. I'm gonna be real honest. I couldn't remember the names, but they had some young cats in there who were showing little sparks of something. So I guess that's what
Yeah.
they saw. And
Yeah.
Some sparks.
So yeah. So we're a little deep. We're a little deep in time.
promising young
Man.
core, dude. You promising young core, dude.
I know, right? I guess because John Wall leaving, it's all you got now is young people.
That's all we got,
That's all
dude.
I
Like,
got. So
Oh wait, we have a team now because last year we didn't. Okay, I got you. Yeah.
so
Welcome back, Houston Rockets. Welcome back to the NBA.
yeah.
Yes,
So real quick, man. I know we're a little bit long in the tooth, man. Y'all want to touch on this last topic with the game on the line?
Oh yeah, we got to.
Okay,
We got
all
to.
right, man. So this is the ultimate question, the debate question we got, man. Which player would you want taking the shot with the game on the line? The last shot, the game-winning shot. Kevin Durant, Brooklyn, 41%. We have Steph Curry, 24%, number 2. Dame Lillard, Dame Time, 17%, number 3. Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic, and number 5,
Four
top
and
for number 5.
yeah,
And
4 and
then
5.
Kyrie is somewhere down there after that. Look, Deuce, man, you got something on this? You believe this is right? This is accurate?
KD for sure.
Easy.
Who's gonna argue against that? KD is just a menace.
You arguing, Reg? You arguing against that?
I'm not gonna say it's an argument, but I do have a question. Like last year, they had Damian Lillard as the winner in this particular question at 32%, and now they have him down at 17%. And I'm just, I can't.
That's
I don't know
weird to
what
me.
changed. I don't know what changed. Like I hear what y'all saying with KD, and especially last season, like you know where his foot was. But in terms of a 7-footer that could shoot like that, who could do what he does, I could see why we'll give him the last shot. Not just like, you know, Dame could do it from half court. He could do a deep 3. He could get in and get a layup. But KD could do it like
Anyway.
almost anywhere. Like once he's within range, and he's
So-
7 foot.
Let's take KD
So
out.
I hear. It's not an argument. Like I hear y'all. Like I'm with you, but I'm still just confused. I still have my initial question. What changed that the people just lost confidence in
Because Dame in the playoffs against the Nuggets, right? He took them. What was like three overtimes
double
that
or
one
triple
game.
overtimes, and he kept making these huge
Uh,
shots.
Ain't nothing changed. Maybe the GMs changed. I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't watch that game. I don't know. But
Yeah,
Dame
Dame
hasn't
is solid
changed.
number
So
2.
perplexed. So perplexed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So we all agree Kevin Durant should be over. It should be the overwhelming
Yeah.
favorite on this.
Yeah, I don't think there's
And,
one.
and Dame Lillard should be number 2. Is that what you guys are trying to say?
Steph is a
Well,
better
Steph Curry
shooter,
should not be.
but
I have Dame.
Clutch is
I
Dame.
have-
Dame.
Yeah. For
Clutch
clutch
is Dame.
factor,
Sure.
for clutch factor, I have Dame.
Yeah.
over
Dame
Curry.
number 2. Okay. What about
I'll
Luka?
put Dame over Curry too, but Curry's right there, mate. Strong
Yeah.
third.
oh
Strong
yeah, he's
third.
Strong third.
Any given shot, I'll give it to Curry. But that game
The
winner,
last shot.
Mhm.
I
Game on
give
line?
that to Dame. Yeah.
What about Luka?
It's tried and proven. You like it's simulator.
It
He's
is.
a simulator. He done through. You know how they'll say like you could do these math models, or you could just do 1,000 shots and see what happens. He's done it so many times. Like how can we say anything different? I don't know.
Okay.
He's a fact, man. He's
He's
no
a
longer a
fact,
hypothesis. Yeah.
So we got Steph Curry as a strong 3, or is Luka even? Are we
Bro,
not?
Steph is solid 3, man.
No, Steph is solid. Like if you saw
Yeah.
what Steph did last year, he carried that team.
Yeah.
Man,
By the
Steph is solid.
bootstraps.
Steph is solid. Yeah.
Yeah.
His shooting was always like premier, but I don't know how he somehow made it better. Like how did you do that? I'm
It's insane.
confused.
Only to be outdone by somebody not on the list.
Who is that?
Here we go, man.
Who is that?
LeBron James hit him with that
Oh,
three. When
there
he
you
couldn't see.
see.
He
That's
saw
how you get out
about,
of that.
he said he saw 4 different baskets.
And I picked the right one. Yo. So hey, yeah, I'm surprised LeBron's not on here, but I would not put Steph third. I wouldn't have Steph on this list, to be honest with you. Not because he's not a good shooter. He's a great shooter. But
Fair.
I don't recall seeing him hitting many game time decision shots.
They weren't many, but they were
There
great.
weren't many. There weren't many.
Yeah, but
Right.
here's my question.
Let's not forget OKC from half court.
Oh man,
Yeah, there weren't many.
But there wasn't
you would be
there wasn't a
scared of
game
him
on the
shooting the
line.
ball in game.
I would be scared.
game.
I'm always
You'll be
terrified.
scared.
But you will
Yeah.
always be scared, right? But
Yeah,
but
especially in the game too, right?
at the
Nope.
end of the game, it's. But I guess you can scheme for that. And I think we've seen players
Right.
who scheme against other players. Like people scheme for Kevin Durant to not get the ball, and he get the ball and he'll shoot the shot. I remember him doing that
Set feet.
but I remember seeing him doing that over Dallas in the playoffs one year.
Yeah.
Like he did that from the court, from the wing. Like
Yeah.
we've seen Dame do it over anyone.
Yeah.
We've seen.
You know he's getting the ball, and you know he's gonna take the shot, and he still gets it off.
He'll
can
sit
do
and
that,
dribble to the times out and then just do it. Like, yo,
Yeah.
what the heck? I've seen Luka Doncic do it. Like, we've seen Luka Doncic do it in the playoffs, in the bubble. We've seen him do it out the
Yep.
bubble. We've seen. So I just haven't seen Steph do it enough, and that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's not capable of doing it. Maybe it's just that they scheme for him, and it's just because he's shorter too, and he doesn't.
Yeah.
He's just his style of play.
That's fair.
But LeBron, even LeBron, they'll try to double team LeBron, and he'll still find a way to do it. Like they'll poke him in the eye,
Yeah.
take out his contacts, and then he'll still find a way. I don't know. It's amazing.
Kick him in the sack.
So
Hey, I put the ball in LeBron's hands. I don't necessarily need him to take the shot, but at the end of the game, I put it in his hands.
he's gonna
Yeah.
find
make
a
the
way.
best
I'm
decision.
Has it?
confident the shit that he takes off is gonna be a good look.
It's
He'll
the
make the
most
best
I'm not
decision.
super frustrated.
Yeah, true.
So cool, man. All right, man. We'll leave it as that, man. We're gonna just go ahead and sign out because it's a little bit long in the episode. You got something, Deuce?
Yeah, I got you.
You got a factoid? Okay, cool. All right, Reg, man. I'll let you go ahead and kick us off with the sign-offs, man.
Hey, thank everybody for joining us today. Like, comment, subscribe. Checking us on Spotify, Apple Music, Anchor, YouTube. Check out our Discord. Just continue engaging with us. Instagram, all that stuff. But once again, appreciate y'all. Sorry about the brightness over there. We could put like maybe a warning label. But,
Don't look straight at the screen.
Yeah, there
You
you
can
go.
make it serious. You can put a disclaimer up there for the epilepsy and all that good stuff.
Y'all
What do you
done?
use? A solar, solar or a lunar eclipse? I forget which one is the bright one.
Both. I'm both.
Oh, okay. But that's all I had to say, man.
Okay, all right, man. Kev, what you got?
I ain't got much to say, man. Just appreciate y'all watching us, sticking with us, rocking with us. And yeah, we out here. More episodes to come. NBA starting soon, and that's when we crank up. At least that's when I crank up. So let's go. Let's get it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, Deuce, man. What's your factoid, man?
Hey, thank you, Mr. Nightlight. So here we go. It's another baseball one for you. I thought this was pretty interesting, right? So at one point in August 1971, the Pittsburgh Pirates became the first professional baseball team to field nothing but black and Hispanic players. Guess what happened that year?
They won the
They won?
championship.
They won the World Series, bruh.
Obviously. They were cheating, man. They had colors out there.
Coaches
Baseball's
have been
been changed
taking
ever
advantage
since.
of this ever since.
I know, right?
Hey, that's amazing right there. Oh, yo, wow.
That's how it happened.
What year that was? What year that was, Deuce?
1971.
That was a year. That was a good year.
Yeah.
Hey, for your next factoid, how many years did it take for them to bring a white person back?
After that, I'll be like, hey, the formula show.
Yeah.
Hey, success.
So, alright, man. This is Chris. Thank you guys for joining. Like, comment, subscribe. We appreciate the comments in the last video. People had some really good takes, and I agree with most of them. You know what I'm saying, about the broken hand and all that.
Have you tried to hit something with a broken hand?
Hey,
A sprained finger.
Hey.
Spring your finger trying to catch a
It's
football.
when the
You can't even
towers,
pick up a
when
cup
the
of coffee,
towers.
man.
Hey.
I spring my finger and I can't do nothing right.
Exactly. Guess what?
It's a
Guess what
sick
you gonna
day.
do? You go sit down. You go sit down.
I hit typing like this.
If you in the game, you 100%. That's always been my motto. So if he was hurting that bad, he should have said that. I agree. I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying? And also that didn't prevent his guard from dropping and prevent his chin from dropping. So yeah, we enjoy the comments. You know, we enjoy being checked and everything. So yeah, continue to hit us up in the comments. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like, if you think our takes were stupid, or you know, if you agree with me. You know what I mean? So
you guys heard that, right?
Other than that, man, you know, shout out to Mississippi State. I heard y'all were a good team, football wise. Shout out to Atlanta. Shout out to Distracts all over. Give us a like, give us a comment, hit the 5 stars. And we'll keep rocking with you guys. We'll give you guys another one next week, man. Every Tuesday. So until next Tuesday, man. Deuces, guys.
Deuce, peace.
Holla.